Happy Sunday and welcome back for this Sunday's video. Today I wanted to talk a little bit more with my voice about my word for the year. So first of all, every year I have a book. This is this year's book, which is where I keep all of my goals. So I have my goals for the year, and then I have a section where I write down my goals for each month. And in the front of my book, I have my word I've chosen for the year. So if you listened to the video or the audio of my year-end call, which we put the link in last week, and it's also in this week's newsletter. One more time, I'm going to keep it in here. Take a listen. If you already heard this, then you know what I'm talking about, picking a word for the year. So last year, you may have picked a word, you may have had a theme for your year, and you lived with it all year, played with it, maybe whatever you started out with at the beginning of the year, maybe your theme changed, maybe it didn't. My theme last year was daring adventure. Well, I had no idea what I was really asking for when I set that as my theme. It sure was a daring adventure last year, but much differently expressed than what I had expected it to be. So if you didn't have a word last year, if you think back to the kind of year you had, you can come up with what your theme was. So even though you didn't name it, you still had a theme to the year. So what was that theme? What was last year all about for you? Just kind of fun to look back. If you don't want to do any of that, maybe you'll think about setting a theme or a word of the year for yourself this year. And that's what I'm talking about. So listen to the recording if you're interested. My word, ta-da, and I wrote about it in the blog post as well, is vital, V-I-T-A-L, kind of like a piece of vitality. And in a way, so this is what I wrote down in my book, Vital, my word of 2021. It's vital means, in some definitions, these are the ones I pulled, absolutely necessary, important, indispensable to the continuance of life. So I put the word of my life. So how I'm looking at this year is, number one, what is absolutely necessary for me to have the continuance of my life and the life that I want to have happen. So not everything is necessary, not everything is indispensable. I want to get down to those really important things, and that's what I'm doing in my planning. And my planning each week helps me to stay on track with that. So that's my guiding word, vital. The second definition I pulled about vital, it really works for me as well, and that is being full of energy and lively. The word is lively. So while I'm really paring down to the essentials, and that even goes for words I'm saying, what I'm sharing, being more intentional, being more on purpose. I want to be full of energy. I want to be lively. So that means I have to do certain things in my life all the time that help me to stay that way. So that's where my weekly rhythm register comes in. I know some of you have seen this thing before. Keeps me on track when I'm doing my planning and setting up my week, making sure I have these things sprinkled in. One of the most important things for me to stay lively is to make sure I have the things that I love to do and engage in sprinkled in each day throughout the week, throughout the month. Those things keep refilling my energy, and that includes taking rest time, taking what I call the Sabbath day on Sunday, which is staying off my phone like 99.9% of the time, which I did kind of a halfway good idea or try at last year. I hate to use that word try, but this year that's vital for me. So that's an example of what's vital. And so far on Sundays, except for the day my book came out, finally, I had to go online for that. I've been really good. And yesterday I did the best, or the last Sunday. I did the best at that I've done so far. And it was so great feeling. I was so re-energized on Monday morning. So that's an idea. And that helps me to be more lively on Monday to start the week, because I have a lot of energy and it didn't get sucked away by being on a screen. And I got a lot done too. How funny is that, how that happens? So what is your word for the year? What would you like to have be your guide? The last thing I want to say about this is when you have a word, it's also a measurement, just like the weekly rhythm register is a measurement of how I'm doing based on what I said I wanted to do. That word can help me make decisions. So if someone, for instance, asks me to engage in something, I can look at that word vital and my definitions to make a good decision about whether I want to engage in that thing or not. Whether it's going to help me feel lively and build my energy, or if it might do the opposite. If it is necessary to some part of my life that would really amplify that. So it helps you to make good decisions. It helps you to kind of stand up for yourself in a way and keep following through on what you want. So just a few ideas for today. You will also see the book that I've highlighted this week is I think an important one, and I'm also doing a giveaway of it. So if you're interested, make sure you read that part and follow the rules for entering for winning that book. Maybe it will be you. I love giving books away. Some of you know because you've won books from me before. So have a great week ahead. Decide today what you're going to do to make the week great. If you have to still make a list of all the things you love to do, to remind yourself so that you can start to sprinkle and weave these things in, then start there and do that. Think of your one word. I'd love to hear what your one word is if you want to share it. And as I said, have a great week ahead, create what you want, and I'll see you next Sunday.